Yo. Big Kish back up in here. I think Fantastic done cracked the code, man. I think Fantastic Hip Hop done cracked the code. How Kendrick Lamar just officially ended Drake's career forever. Now, when it comes to Drake, I hope y'all ready, man. Y'all sit back, relax. We about to have a good time with this one. I'm going to leave a link in the description for y'all to watch it unfiltered and uninterrupted. But you know I'm like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
Now, when it comes to what has just happened between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, what we all just witnessed is really a turning point, and not just hip-hop, but really in the entire music industry, because after seeing Drake's new album SSS For You compete with Kendrick Lamar's months-old GNX and even older diss track Not Like Us, we have seen that in this time where these two are not releasing diss tracks at one another but are competing for the top spots on the charts, that Kendrick Lamar has managed to embarrass Drake more than ever, because not just did one of his songs end up outperforming Drake's entire album, but 4 entire records of Kendrick shut Drake out of the top 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, and now because of this, what is clear is that Drake is really losing it more than we have ever seen, because beyond seeing his new album flop, he now has to see the guy who has made every single second of his career a living nightmare hand him yet another L. And now before we go any further into all of this, be sure...
They said they was battling for the top spot. And Dot trumped him. He trumped him.
To leave a like and subscribe. And still, we are in this time where the Drake fans are still mad at me for telling the truth and talking about what's actually going on, so please be sure to support the channel and like and subscribe. It has never been more needed. And so now when it comes to what we have seen with both Kendrick Lamar and Drake, this entire moment we are in is really the ultimate round of rap's greatest beef, because with Drake and Kendrick both having new music and experiences out in the industry for everyone to pick and choose what they want to listen to and support, beyond just the back and forth of a rap beef and what the results of that mean for both Kendrick and Drake as rappers and the entirety of what that represents in hip-hop culture, we now have seen how the greater effects of this beef have played out in the actual music and entertainment industries, which again, beyond just how hip-hop culture and the fans of the genre feel, this moment on the chart stood to showcase to the entire music and entertainment industry who is the leader of hip-hop going forward and what artist is going to be the most valuable for the future of this thing when it comes to what labels and the entire industry looks for. And so really, after Kendrick Lamar has already proved that he is the best rapper out and that he has won this thing by far, now after seeing him and Drake go back and forth with new albums and songs, we have now seen the guy who used to be known for topping the charts drop an entire new album that didn't just fail to gain any real momentum whatsoever, but making the failure of this project...
Every dog has a day, now living your purpose. Damn, this is, hey look, this is for all the dogs. You're done.
Even worse, Kendrick had 4 entire songs that were not fazed by the 21 new Drake records, which in the past have always topped the chart, as of course, Luther, Not Like Us, TV Off, and Squabble Up made up 4 of the top 5.
Damn. Luther, Not Like Us, D with a smile, Lady Gaga. TV Off, Squabble Up, Give Me a Hug. People going crazy over that Give Me a Hug joint. And that Nokia. I gotta go listen to him.
5 spots on the Billboard charts, which Drake just couldn't get to. And so with this, what the music industry and every single person has now seen is that once and for all, that beyond just the respect of hip-hop and the culture, Kendrick Lamar has transcended to levels of stardom and dominance that we really only ever see from very few artists ever, because even with Luther now going #1, Kendrick is making history and joining clubs that were only ever occupied in the past.
Kendrick Lamar achieved the fastest accumulation of 4 #1 hits on the Hot 100 among male soloists in a lead role since Michael Jackson's 1987-88. I said Michael Jackson's.
Passed by people like MJ, which of course, considering how this beef started and how Drake was comparing himself to Mike leading up to this thing on the record that started it all.
Yeah, man, please go rewatch the First Person Shooter and then look at the Drake and Future, when Future was like $100,000 on the project, a little bit. He did the same tactic that Future was using on him. He tried to do it to J. Cole. He tried to have that grand entrance. Then they tore down the city and then had this big statue. Like, bro, man, sit your ass down, B. Word is bond, boy.
He and Kendrick now actually join his company in multiple different ways, as from the Grammys to the
man.
Super Bowl to here. He has just joined the tier that only he was ever in. Overall, is just surreal and is really one of the most groundbreaking things we have ever seen as hip-hop fans as a whole, because we have really just never seen a rapper rise like this. And overall, with the fact that now Kendrick Lamar is really in a tier of artists where he's only being compared to people like MJ and Prince, and Drake is just falling further and further behind, the entire music industry now sees that Kendrick is going to be the guy who is going to hold rap down in every single way possible until he decides that he doesn't want to. And of course, for Drake in all of this, I mean, this guy has managed to lose more than you could ever think, because not just is Drake the biggest joke within hip-hop, but now the same industry that held him up and used to believe he was a top player within it is now seeing that his rival has now not just been doing a better job at fulfilling what used to be seen as his role currently, but really, with the records Kendrick is now reaching, which we are seeing just the dominance of that more than ever on this week's chart specifically, a lot of people are starting to think that Kendrick is doing a better job than Drake really ever has in his role, because to see this type of dominance now after the Super Bowl period and after you dropped a new album months ago for Kendrick Lamar, and most impressively doing all of this while still having the full respect of hip-hop culture, because Kendrick has not actually compromised the quality of his music whatsoever. Overall, with this rare combination of both popularity,
he brung the world to him. They said, look, Kendrick people ain't rocking with this, with these robotic sounds and all that. People ain't rocking with this. He made people rock with it. Y'all gonna rock with it. Just listen to the message. Yeah, the party must die. It's done.
And skill. We are seeing more than anything else that Kendrick Lamar is having more longevity than really any artist in the industry today, especially in this era where people so quickly forget about things. And I mean, compare this to Drake, and seeing how even with his previous albums that he released recently, while they had big releases, they would all quickly fall off. Overall, as Kendrick Lamar and GNX have now joined a club that only some of the highest performing rap albums in the past have ever been able to get to by having 2 #1 songs, and in this era where most albums just come and go. I mean, with all of this, the music industry is just seeing hip-hop and the value of what an album can be just get redefined by Kendrick, because for a 12-song album to be doing all of this, there's no other way to put it. This is just something that never happens today in the industry, and not even close to the level we are seeing when it rarely does. And really, because of all of this, when it comes to Drake, you couldn't even make up a worse outcome for him, because with everything we are seeing here, after already losing in pretty much every single category possible, deciding to put this album out really may have been worse than just continuing to sit back, because now everyone from fans to hip-hop to the music industry has full proof that when it comes to where Drake actually stands within the music industry currently, his presence has never been smaller and he has never been in a worse place, because for this album to do so bad that it got out charted by 4 entire Kendrick Lamar songs that have been out for a while, I don't think we all realize how much this is showcasing that Kendrick Lamar has never been more up, and also that Drake has never been further down, because to just...
This is something that he's not used to. This is why he's acting the way he's acting. This is why he still haven't took a break yet. He's not used to this. This is a whooping, a never before seen in life whooping right here. Nobody has ever seen it like this. Of course, we had the No Vaseline. We had to hit him up by Tupac. We had the 50 Cent Ja Rule. Ja Rule, Ja Rule didn't experience this. This was something different. This is something different.
Just lose this bad to an album that has already been out for so long. And again,
and the deal is that he making it worse. This is why it's keep on going on. Drake keep opening his mouth. He keep popping up. This is why it's continuing to go on. I know people tired of it. Oh man, we still talking about this? Yup, because Drake keep running his damn mouth.
This is already past the actual Super Bowl week where the song's got a boost from that. For Drake, if this is not the sign that you needed to stop doing the same old things and seeing worse and worse results, I don't know what could ever be. Because really, if there was ever any chance of Drake changing the outcome of what happened in this beef one bit, or just helping his career in any way, having an album that did well and songs that actually moved up the charts would be able to give him more time before his downfall would really be solidified. Because with previous genre-defining beefs like Jay and Nas, for example, because of the fact that after that beef, outside of how it changed hip-hop, the actual music industry still knew that Jay was their guy because he was making the top charting songs, overall we saw with the fact that Jay just kept moving forward and finding more success, that when it comes to these rap beefs and what they mean for hip-hop fans, while it can change legacies and resumes, it doesn't actually do anything to an artist's career and how they may stand in the music industry until it is seen that one's career and the performances they have alters. And I mean, for Drake right now, we are now seeing that this beef ruined literally everything for him and that he will never be the same. And when it comes to how everything has went for both Drake and Kendrick Lamar in this moment, from the fact that Kendrick Lamar got the Super Bowl out of this, 4 #1 songs in this time, and is now about to go everywhere and take hip-hop to stadiums on a
and 5 Grammys.
Scale like we have never seen before. When it comes to the actual place these two hold in not just hip-hop, because we know Kendrick is one there, but the industry. Well, Drake fans used to be able to use numbers and this idea and notion that Drake was the biggest thing ever to just defend him from any sort of criticism. Kendrick Lamar has really showcased and made sure that nobody can say anything on his name and be taken seriously, because not just is Kendrick the way better rapper and artist, and of course we have seen that with how great GNX is as a full, complete body of work, but also when it comes to being the biggest rapper and who is the actual guy who is running the numbers and charts. Kendrick has now just jumped over Drake more than we could have ever predicted, and ultimately as he is just making his lead in the rap game get higher and higher. And we have seen this more than ever, with Kendrick commanding 4 of the top 5 songs on the Billboard Hot 100, which is something that Drake just doesn't have. Altogether, we are witnessing the ascension of what is already and what will only become more in the future one of the greatest runs and eras we have ever seen from a rapper, and really a musician in the industry in so long at this point. And meanwhile, at the same time of all of this for Drake, I mean, he is just the biggest loser in every single way possible. Because with Kendrick managing to be the guy walking out with a #1 song, which really is an R&B record, the same week that Drake dropped an album and tried to say it's an R&B project just to move away from hip-hop and avoid the criticism of failing there in the first place, I mean, you couldn't write a more entertaining ending. Because really, for Kendrick to win the charts this week, by having Not Like Us and Luther trading places, Kendrick's success and these songs specifically and their chart position here are gonna forever solidify the moment that the industry realized that Kendrick Lamar is the top guy in the rap game and that the Drake era has never been more over. And so putting all of this into perspective, when we look back on this entire moment in hip-hop and see how everything was put into place the way it was and why Drake's downfall was so bad, I think we're going to look back at this week specifically as one of the times where it was never more over for Drake, because to lose this bad with a new album and 21 songs trying to reach the top of the chart.
And that's their argument. Yeah, he's battling with Kendrick. Listen, bro, you just came out with the song. Kendrick mentioned your name at the Super Bowl, which should have boosted you up. And you got 21 tracks on the joint versus GNX got 12 tracks on the joint. Now, I ain't no numbers guy, but I know you're looking bad, boy. You're looking bad.
And of course, losing to 4 Kendrick Lamar records, which between all 4 of them, from the diss track and Not Like Us to Squabble Up and TV Off to the melodic Luther, showcase that Kendrick makes the most captivating music across every single category that matters for somebody in the hip-hop space today. Really, what we are seeing is all history in the making, and for Drake now having his album flop be solidified by Kendrick Lamar getting this #1 song and at the same time as he dropped an album, what we are all seeing is history in the making, and for Drake now having his album flop be solidified by Kendrick Lamar getting this #1 song, in its entirety, this is all making sure that Drake will never be able to compete with Kendrick Lamar in any way possible again. And because of this, things for Drake have just never been worse. And really, I don't know if they're ever going to get any better. And so now with all this said, let me...
It's not. Now, if he put some distance between now and his solo project, like come out with it like it's 2025 now, come out with your solo project probably like 2040. Then, you know, people been miss you. They've been worked up another, they've been miss you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But nah, bro. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.